Hey, what's going on YouTube? Final Boss back with another video, and today I'm going to go on ahead and we're going to break down some of the gameplays that has been going on my lower account. And I'm still trying to figure out kind of the deck that we're wanting to use. I know that we have an epic in here and people have been asking me about it. We're going to go on ahead and eventually put our hog in here in this place. I'm not sure if this is the direction exactly I want to go, but most likely I was thinking of something like this, but now everyone in the lower arenas are using the wizard and the witch and things that have a lot of splash damage. Some people are using Dark Knight, not Dark Knight. No, dang it, boss, it's Dark Prince. Stop saying that. All right, so I think what we're going to end up doing is progressing into something of a hog cycle. We're probably going to be using trifecta. Really need the fire spirits here. I was thinking about using furnace instead so we could cycle a lot faster, but we're going to use the epics to kind of build up the account to get it nice and high and then level out those cards on there that I have on another account. So yeah, we're going to probably end up putting Inferno in here as well, but I'd like to try to use Tombstone just to keep the cost low and efficient, and the Tombstone counters a lot of the heavy decks, and it can even beat down the golem decks, and you'd be surprised what that little Tombstone can do. So we're sitting here thinking about, like, you know, running trifecta, but then I was like, okay, well, we could probably make it cheap, but everyone likes to use the Skarmy, so I'm going to break into some points about the Skarmy in a little gameplay earlier, but I had that just a minute ago at 2.8 cycle, so if you can keep it down to a cycle, I really feel like that's going to be able to help. As we approach into the higher, closer to the 3000 range, the legendary arena, we're really going to need to get our Inferno up. But as you can see, my experience points, I've upgraded things that I shouldn't have, just kind of playing around with it, just trying to figure out what we're actually going to use. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay, and I'll kind of go into further details about some tips and tricks that I think that will help you progress as an account. Some people have 8s and 9s accounts that probably should just go on ahead and delete them and restart over. So I really feel like this is very beneficial information for even people out there that are not this low. This isn't how high I can push this deck to. I'm trying to figure out a deck that I can actually push to. So yes, I should have maybe kept with the trifecta, but I think as we get a little bit higher, the people are going to start using other troops, so we're probably going to have to ditch the giant. But it's a really nice slow play deck, and as a level 4 or 5, you're going to be able to push up into 2000 trophy range with the techniques and tips that I'm going to share with you guys today. And from my previous video as well, so make sure you check it out. Alright, check out those as well. So he drops down a giant here, guys, so we're going to go ahead and put down our giant in the same place too. So this deck that we have here, I just leveled it up to level 5, and there's actually not much of a difference in the level 4 and the 5 range. With the big difference is in the card levels. So obviously that seems like a no-brainer. Of course, boss, it's all about the card levels, but just wanted to point out the 4 and the 5 is really not a huge difference. So just focus on leveling up your cards. Don't worry about, you know, hey, this, that, and the other. So that's another reason I'm thinking about right there, is to dropping the archers, because they are not as solid, and I don't think people are really using the lightning down in the under 3000 or new 3000 as well. So we're able to just outplay our opponents, and just by playing nice and slow and just, you know, just looking at our elixir here, guys. You just want to go on ahead and get your full elixir in. You want to get a full methodical push, and a lot of these people down here in these arenas that are 8 and 9 that you can beat as a level 4, it's insane. They are lacking complete technique. This guy here at least has some kind of basic knowledge. He's like, he's seen people put giants in the back, and you know, he's carrying Valkyrie because of all of the skeleton armies and everything else. So I'd also like to give my personal opinion on the skeleton army and cards of this nature as well. Guys, I feel like this gives people the false sense of being good at the video game, is getting some of these epics up there, and that's the main reason I'm doing this challenge, is to show people, you know, how they can win with this deck. I really feel it's essential that these cards are being able to be played, you know, to be able to counter all this stuff, because I'm seeing a lot of these cards, you know, repetitively. It's the witch is not that good, guys. It's not used in the higher level arenas. I mean, you know what, you're wasting your gold, you're wasting 2000 gold to upgrade the witch. It might help you when you're in the lower arenas, but not later in the game. Nobody plays with the witch. It's because it's it's easy to counter. You know, you could have a Valkyrie or you could have anything here, and it's okay. Don't get frustrated if you're losing cards and stuff to these guys, because remember, you can still sit there and be like, all right, well, at least I can at least, you know, I'm giving these guys a good run for their money. So another really good tip is it's okay to, you know, go after the 3 crown when you're there, but this guy right here, he should have been going for the other crown. Not to mention, it would kind of slow down my push and everything else. But he's getting some of the basic tactics down of this game that's going to make you, you know, good in the game. But this you know, you're still missing some essentials that can make you a better player in that. So give them the good game, you know, keep things nice and smooth and everything else, and kind of keep the ball rolling. So what I really want to say, I know you guys love your skeleton army and everything else, and I know you see top players playing it as well, but you know, they're using Inferno, they're using Miner. If you can't go with the full thought process of that deck, it's not going to push you very far. These decks are going to actually get you a lot further. And you know, I could have had a Valkyrie instead of the Prince, but that's why I have, you know, I have 3 or 5 things to counter all these decks, because all these decks in the lower arenas, this is all you're seeing, guys, is the same stuff over and over again. Goblin Barrel, Skarmy, Horde, and I have counters in all my deck, but I just decided to go on ahead and take the damage there, and we're going to go on ahead and play pressure on the other side of the lane. So you know what, if I could apply pressure over here with the Prince on one side, and then I had the Musketeer other pinch, but he does counter over on this side, and this is why I'm using the Tombstone. It easily counters Princes, which is also a high usage card down in the lower arena. But it's nothing more satisfying than taking out a minion horde with a pair of a pair of that. So this is actually kind of scary, you know, whenever you do see a wizard. So you know, everything's spongy down here, and a lot of people they're using these cards is because they do counter some of the other smaller cards. So we don't really want to use our zap. We want to save our zap for the skeleton army. So we kind of have a plan that we're going to, you know, capitalize on. We're keeping the zap down for the skeleton army, and then we also have the little fire spirits to counter everything like that, and then, you know, we can even use our fire spirits on the goblin barrel if need be, and use the archer's tombstone for everything else there. So we know that his minion hordes is actually in rotation there, so we're able to get the Prince full charge there and take out his minion horde for 2 elixir. So we went ahead right here and checked on our fireball just to check out our damage. You know, it's a lower fireball, but the fireball is really good. You want to have some direct damage in your deck, and it's you know, we're seeing a lot of that. And a fireball is a very good card that is going to be used even later in the game, because I'm still using the fireball as well. So we had the fireball here just because of the we didn't want to use our zap, and I'm not sure, you know, to the levels of my zap versus his goblin barrel, and I did not feel confident enough to go on ahead and do that. So you see a lot of this, guys. Also, you're seeing a lot of rage in the lower levels. That's also a completely worthless card that you don't want to use. You don't want to use Rage, you don't want to use Skeleton Army, you don't want to use Witch, unless that's an all epic deck that you're trying to push up with just all epics. But you know what, that's kind of like what a lot of people are doing right now, are, you know, using these cards just to get up into the super high. So yes, the epics are good, they are, but like I was saying, it gives you a false sense of skill. Like, you know, you drop down a skeleton army, and you're able to drop everything down there. So taking down, that was a clutch game. But I knew what in my deck countered his. So you just have to sit back and chill and just kind of play defense. I feel like that's where you can really learn this game. So like I said, I'm a fresh, brand new level 5. And I know that a lot of you guys have been higher trophies, you know, with all epics and everything else. Only one I'm using right now is the Prince, just because my hog was not high enough. And that's okay, because I'm about to reset this account, and we're about to actually give it our best shot. So really just focus on getting a full methodical push down, guys, with this this deck, and you know, just knowing that everybody has a skeleton army, you know, try to get to that zap. So like I said, just some tips just to kind of help everybody out with this challenge is push up real high with all the epics, just play nice and slow with it. And I know we just spent a lot of elixir, so we went ahead and put our prince down, and then we put our fire spirits behind it, just in case he wanted to put the minion horde there, and he's going to have to sit there and eat that from a level 5. So 2 fireballs right here is practically we take down the tower and everything else. So, you know, we just sit back, play defense, and see what he has. You know, and so you can figure it out. And, you know, sometimes it's okay to lose a tower. It's not the end of the world. I mean, I know that I have this guy pretty handily, so I'm really not too worried about it right now. So we put down our giant here. We didn't want to get him a full charge and take out our musketeer because he has the splash damage going on here, and we're going to zap away that Skarmy. It's pretty standard here. And now we're going to put our little fire spirits behind here. So he did a really good arrow right there. Good on him, but our musketeer has still got a decent amount of health, and we're going to be able to get what 3 or 4 shots in there. So we got his towers down pretty well, and this guy, you know, he's not getting the full methodical push on here, and this is what we're seeing a lot down in the lower arenas, is that, you know, like, you're spending elixir as soon as you get it. You don't want to do that. You know, do your slow push, put the baby dragon in the back if you want to use baby dragon, and just, you know, stop putting troops down in the freaking center and on the bridge, and, you know, there's just no point because you're getting into a rush stance and everything else. So we decided to go on ahead and fireball since we got value there. He had to hit the witch, and unfortunately my zap is just not strong enough to end any of that. So Tombstone is just a lovely card. It's a great distraction tool. It takes down a giant, pulls the golem. You know, I've even taken down royal giants in this deck already with the Tombstone. So now we're beating a level 9. You know, this is not in the first level 9 either that we've beat as well. So we just have to play smart defense. We know we have this game in the bag. We're going to zap away the Skarmy right here, slow down that baby dragon, and I think we're 1 fireball away here just to take it down. But if not, we got a huge push going on here. And yeah, so he's going to go ahead and give us some value here. Fireball that away, and the only thing we need to do is cycle back to our zap, or just kidding, we'll just take it down like that. So I hope these tips have really helped you guys out, and maybe some of you guys have got a level 8 or 9 account that, you know, maybe you just upgraded everything, you really messed up. So I'd highly recommend taking some of these tips and strategies, maybe even copying one of my decks and only upgrading that. So that's kind of the point and the madness of this whole ordeal of getting away an Xbox and a PlayStation 4 is that I really want to help people out. Also, just kind of see decks, because this is a similar deck that's being used up in the higher arenas. So maybe just pick that one deck up and just you know, level this one. So it gives us the thumbs up, and I've seen a lot of people say well played and everything else up into the 2000 range, and so that's pretty dirty right here, guys. So we put down a Tombstone. We had to use our giant there, unfortunately, and yeah, so I've also noticed that a lot of lower players, they don't really care that you're putting troops on the other side. They're not really concerned with what they're pushing. So sometimes they just put all the troops down and, you know, on the bridge, and then that's their one strategy that's been working for them or winning. But if you're level 8 or 9, guys, you can be in legendary arena. But you know what? A lot of it has to do, like I was saying, is your card levels. So if we can get a deck that's built completely, you know, that's going to be able to push us up real high, I think it's going to be able to give us a shot. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get level 7 troops, but maybe with level 6 rares, all level 6 rares, I'm going to have a really good solid chance. I think, you know, getting up there, probably not going to get it. I just don't know if it's even possible to, you know, do this challenge, you know, and be successful. So our archers got a little hits in right there, and we were able to take on the musketeers. So you got to be aware of a lot of things that are going on, but just playing nice and smooth and easy and figuring everything out is just the best policy. Just don't rush it, and just because you've seen a strategy work before doesn't mean it's the best strategy. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people that are using these cards that are completely worthless in the game, like Bomber, Wizard. You know, these just cards are just, there's really no value in leveling these up when you can, you know, level up your Musketeer, or you can level up your Giant or anything else. It's just, you know, you guys just need to chill out, figure out a deck that's going to work, and hopefully I'm going to be able to provide that information for you guys. So like I said, the purpose of me doing on this on a lower level account is not to showcase how high on this video today is not to showcase how high I can get. It's just more of just to bring out tips and tricks and to how you guys can get better and focus on deck building and mentality of actually playing good games and putting together a winning strategy. And you know, the best thing to do is not to be like everybody else. So if everybody's using Skeleton Army and at the lower levels, don't use Skeleton Army. Use Zap, use Valkyrie, use things that counter all these things. And if you're using splash damage, use heavier troops like the Valk and stuff like that. It's gonna equal a winning combo. And like I said, no one's really using lightning down here either. So I really believe that, you know, using the trifecta with the Valkyrie and the Musketeer and everything else is going to be a solid strategy. So you can even do the trifecta, but you can, instead of a hog, you could actually use a giant. So, you know, it's just another strategy that would be able to work. It's just a really slow. I really like playing fast gameplay with really strong defense. So that's always like to play the 2.5s and the 2.6s, where you're like, well, they don't have enough defense. Well, they do. It's just you'll have to figure out how the strategy works and, you know, what's going to work best for you. So we're gonna group together all this troops right here. So we're gonna get a really solid fireball and some great value right here out of that fireball. The witch is almost dead. He's got a level 4 witch and a level 6 mini P.E.K.K.A, and this guy is down at 2,100 trophies, guys. That's a problem. So at level 8, he's probably upgraded all kinds of cards, and this is a perfect example of just, you know, I would probably restart if I was him, unless he spent money and everything else. So there's nothing wrong with restarting. It's just you have a good clarity, and you know what, I'm not saying that your account's bad, and I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm just saying it's a good option that you're going to be able to level up your account the right way with a certain deck. And just you're gonna have to be patient with it. If you don't have patience, you better have some money. So that's how it goes. So yeah, you're not gonna go wrong with leveling up your mini P.E.K.K.A or a Valkyrie or your Musketeer or Hog Rider, Archers. Even the Knight and the Archers combo is just super solid. You know, you could rock a deck with 2 tanks and everything else, but you're just going to have to be really patient and push up real high so you can get those troops. But as long as you know, you get the Valkyrie in the first level, so you know you can level up the Valkyrie if that's going to be, you know, the card that is. I'm not sure exactly right now if I am going to end up using the Valkyrie. I feel like I've got answers in my deck without using the Valkyrie, and 4 elixir is a lot of a commitment. It still costs a lot to use, and especially a card that can be hit with the minion horde and everything else. So our fire spirits over here came in clutch, and the prince couldn't be bothered with our little skeletons, and yeah. So but anyway, we just sit here and every single one of our pushes are like this. It's just defend, then put down a giant, you know, and then hold down, or, you know, try to get cycle to our zap as soon as possible, and that's how we win the games here, and able to beat higher level opponents as well. So this game is in the bag. We just have to play solid defense right here, and that's all she wrote. It's pretty funny, like this guy should not be using elite barbarians, so they're not good yet. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown and the gameplays of everything that just happened and went down, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. I know some of you guys might give me some flack and be like, you know, don't be messing with my skeleton army and everything else, but you know what, there's another thing I also wanted to address too, is that there was people in my comments saying, boss, why are you playing, you know, this game's been out for a year, why are you playing a lower level account? Well, guys, listen, there's 8 and 9s down here that are 2,000 range that are just, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They're terrible. They're bad. They're missing basic concepts. And by me going back, it's going to be able to help people and progress through the game and have fun. This game's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing it, but you know, it sucks to know that, you know, you didn't know something for the longest time and by the time you do learn, you know, it's way too late, and it's so hard, and then you're gonna end up quitting the game. So I mean, I'm trying to help people out. I really enjoy helping people out and bringing in tips and knowledge and sharing things with everyone here that will make you a better player, and it's going to actually enjoy the video game. So if I know that you guys are telling me you pushed up 600 or 700, you know, trophies because of one of my decks and some of my tips that have helped you out, that's super rewarding. So I actually believe this is probably going to be the deck I'm going to try to push up high with. I might actually use Tombstone instead of Inferno, but I really feel like those over-level Royal Giants as we get closer to 3,000 is just going to be super tough. So there's a couple of these cards that you get really early that I'm just going to kind of focus on, and I'm going to try to push up really high with the epics, and then I'm only going to level these cards. Now, with the 1 Elixir Skeletons, I don't even need to level him because he's just used as a distraction. So, I mean, if you zap him as level 1, so that's going to be able to help me out level up these more expensive cards. But, you know, we got a lot of rares in here. So, we got 5 rares, but this is kind of more my strategy, more my style. And the Inferno is really going to give us a buffer when we get up a lot higher. It might not help when we're in a little bit of the lower range. Maybe I'll carry some arrows, but at a certain point, the arrows aren't even, you know, really working out. So, we're probably going to have to use the arrows and fireball until we can actually get to the zap. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really do. And you know what? Go on ahead and leave stuff down in the comments. You know, there's still going to be more of the series. You know, if you don't enjoy the video, don't watch it. Please do. Please don't watch my video if it's bad. But I just really wanted to highlight some of the cards that just are not, you know, these just aren't worth in lower arenas to level up. They're just not good. I mean, there's just things in here. Now the Prince is super good card, but it's easily distracted and people are using so much spam, it's just really hard unless you're a super skilled player and you're going to be able to get through those. But you know, these cards are just not, you know, these are just not good cards and things that you probably don't even need to use or put in your deck. So this guy right here is also giving you a false sense of reality of what's winning like. You know, eventually they're going to nerf it, and you know, the giant beatdown strategies, the technical, you know, the technical miner decks and the hog rider decks and everything else are just really going to be the ones that are king. Pump is still dead, you know, especially when you're lower level and your pump's not high. People always have some kind of direct damage in there, and I just don't feel like it's still not the same. If they bring it back to 5 elixir costs, it'll definitely be valuable, but I think they're trying. I don't think we're going to see that back at 5 elixir anytime soon. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm sorry if I made you mad calling your favorite card, you know, bad or whatever, but it's just my personal opinion. I feel like I'm trying to help you guys be better, and I'm using it based off of what my experience is and how I've seen the game progress. So the giant decks will always be good. They're always, you know, putting the tank down in front and, you know, putting all the heavy cards behind it, or putting the knight down the other lane too and pushing 2 lanes is always crazy good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something out of this. Like I said, please leave your thoughts and comments down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.